Hi everyone, welcome to the April IEN Coaches meeting. Happy to have you all here. We've got a lot of exciting information on the docket tonight. The link for the agenda is in the chat. It's pinned and we'll keep dropping it a few more times probably. Make sure you sign in so we can document your attendance, also so you can see all the information that's being shared. Um, Last meeting follow-up, you all can read. As a teacher, I hate when people read to me in meetings, so I won't do it to you. A few important things to highlight. The infraction reporting form is linked there. If you do have ever anything you need to report from a match, from conduct, you can use that link. You can find it in the Discord as well. The board gets emails when those are filled out. We can't promise you that we will send you any correspondence afterwards. It may or may not require us to respond to your report, but just know that we do read all of those and take action where appropriate. We'll talk a lot more about IEN Finals and registration, so we can skip over that part. There is the trends and esports survey that's linked there at the end. I believe that's still open, so if you wanted to go ahead and fill that out for the national group, you could do that. We have a guest with us today. So if you read the newsletter most recently, you heard about Lionfish cybersecurity. Jeremy's here, and instead of talk about him, I'll just let him introduce himself and talk a little bit about his company, who he is, and what opportunities they have for IEN moving forward.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Jeremy Miller. I'm the CEO for Lionfish Cybersecurity. So thank you for having me. We are a state certified tech school in the state of Indiana. We teach early IT and cybersecurity, specifically CompTIA courses, A plus, Net plus, and Sec plus, all of which would be great for the esports crowd. The reason that I'm speaking to you today was there's an opportunity with the state of Indiana to get certifications for no money for the school, no money from the school or from the parents. It's the state pays for it. It's a scholarship, and the Indiana State Treasurer's Office actually administers the scholarship. They've started opening up. Matter of fact, they had $15 million worth of it in scholarships, and I'm sad to say that they're already all taken. So it does go quick, but what this means is for esports next year is we'll be approaching you a little bit sooner, right before the window opens, and if you want to take advantage of this great opportunity to I know some schools teach it, so I know we're talking to multiple schools here, but the schools that don't or that want to be able to offer that in as a program, you can use this as a jump start to either start your own internal program in your school, or we could actually help administer that for you. It's all online. We bring in professional instructors to do that, but this is also an opportunity for us. I kind of have a dual hat here. I sit on the executive council for cybersecurity, the governor's thing, and we also from our committee would like to make more awareness of cybersecurity and how bad it's needed in the United States and specifically here in Indiana. And I know a lot of you are watching the news or hear the news and hear of the things that happen, all these bad things that are happening. And so it's our hope, it's our heart that some of your students, some of the students that are on here, I think we're talking to most of the coaches right now, maybe, but that if you don't have a program, that you share with them a way to get into cybersecurity. The esports crowd is probably prime and ready for that particular genre of work, maybe, and maybe they're not. I don't know, but at least let them give it a shot. We need them in the field, and so I appreciate you letting me talk. I will be at the state event coming up, so we'll have 2 sessions. I don't remember exactly what times, but you'll see them in the agenda. But love to talk, love to say hi to all of you, love to get to know you, and anything that we can do from Lionfish to support you, your school, the students, we're all in. Just a little background. I don't want to hijack your whole meeting, and I apologize, but So I spent some time in the military. So, the cybersecurity threats that we have right now in our state are real and in the country. And so we want to see you in the field and your students in the field to help. So thank you. And I look forward to meeting you all in person.
Yeah, so like Jeremy said, he's going to be at finals leading a few different sessions, one a kind of general cybersecurity informational session, and one about this opportunity in particular. And even if there aren't spots yet for this coming year, we know things move slowly in schools, so that just gives us more time to start planning ahead as coaches, get some of our stakeholders involved. This will be a good chance for you to get some information to take back to your guidance counselors or principals about an offering that we can offer students. And there's some other things in the pipeline as well that might even get more exciting about this too. So definitely things to keep in mind and look forward to. So um, look out for Jeremy sessions. We shared a lot of information in the newsletter. There's also some information linked here where you can contact him to get more information or just what this program looks like. So thanks, Jeremy. We're excited to see you in a week, 9 days now. Wow,
Yeah, yeah.
and learn more.
Super excited to meet you guys in person and see the event unfold. So thank you. Thanks for letting me take some time out of your day.
Yeah,
Take care.
have a good one.
Bye bye.
Another opportunity for students, the LOS portal. So LeagueOS is our competition platform that we use. A side of that that maybe a lot of us haven't explored as much is um, the LOS portal side. That's the recruiting side for colleges. They have access to the students' profiles in terms of sorting by games played, sorting by any information the students input, um, and can gain scholarship from that. So it's free for your students. It's really simple for them to do. They don't have to make a new account. They're already on the platform. If you're a high school coach, and some of your middle schoolers are as well, you can click that link or give them that link. Basically, all they need to do is opt in with their graduating year. They can decide how much information they'd like to receive. They can be proactive and allows coaches to reach out to them, or they could set a more reserved setting and only themselves reach out to coaches. All of the coaches on the platform are verified with background checks. All the messages are monitored. We have been involved with that process from the beginning and made sure to build a platform that we think is safe and well suited for our students. So check that out. Lots of opportunities there. One of them is called the LOS Combine. So what LeagueOS is going to do is host an in-person combine event for the top 100 prospects across the country. All students have to do is basically click a button to opt into that to be considered. All of their IEN data will be used for that. All of the data that students have on LeagueOS for any other competition that's on LeagueOS, like Valhalla, will be used as well. And the top 100 students will be invited to participate in that combine. So again, easy enough for students to do. There's really not any downside to them opting in, even if they don't get chosen. So go ahead and make sure that you share that link with students. LeagueOS will also have a session at finals where they discuss more about that and our partnership with them moving forward. But there's a lot of opportunities there around secondary, post-secondary opportunities for students in esports, and it's not just for players. We have students who are getting scholarship for broadcasting and for social media management and all those things through the portal as well. So have your students check that out. Also, be on the lookout for an announcement probably early next week about another opportunity through LeagueOS that I don't want to say too much about because this is being recorded, but another in-person opportunity for our top-tier teams to show off their talent against teams they don't normally get to play against. We'll tease it and leave it at that, I suppose. One last sponsorship announcement. We have a renewed partnership with Stay Plugged In. Some of you have been around in the league long enough to recognize that spin moniker and that name. Stay Plugged In is another recruiting platform specific for esports, and this announcement should be going live probably tomorrow or maybe Friday. That IEN has partnered with Spin again in kind of a renewed and larger capacity. So it means lots of opportunities and resources for your students, not just on the recruiting front, but in terms of some curricular material, some STEM curriculum and extracurricular activity exploration. Um, they're doing lots of leagues with some pretty big name companies and organizations like the NFL Players Association, F1 Racing, um, even more tangential opportunities for students. Nothing that is going to be required of you, as an IEN member, but something that you have access to through this partnership and relationship. You'll hear lots more about that as we move forward, but things relating to hardware, apparel, those curricular opportunities, lots and lots of opportunities for students. So there's a little bit there in that press release that'll be going out, but definitely as we move over the summer and into the beginning of next year, you hear lots more about this relationship with Spin. All right, IEN Finals. Biggest thing, be sure to register. We're currently sitting at, we're close to 400, 380 something, I believe, attendees currently registered, and we know some of you have been waiting for matches to finish up. I believe with the Smash Brothers matches today finishing up, all of the matches are complete and all finalists are decided. So everyone now should be able to finalize those registration numbers once you get a chance. The link is there for the ticketing and registration. It's pretty straightforward. You basically select tickets for whoever you would like to register. You can select as many as you like for appropriate categories. So general admission is just any attendee. Parents who are coming, your principal if they want to show up, anyone who doesn't fit into one of the other categories. Finals competitors are your, exactly what it sounds like, competing students. Finals coaches are you and anybody else who is coaching a team competing in finals. And those are really the only ones that should be appropriate for you. You should be able to select whatever you need. Different information is for different ticket types, but once you go to the next page, it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of what information you need where. You do need emails for each ticket. If you don't have emails for students, I would suggest having parents register them. I mean, if you really can't get that done, send us a message and we can register them on the back end without emails. But having students or parents register will give them access to the entire platform and gain access to all the information we're sharing about finals. So that's definitely the preferred solution. There is no cutoff date for registration. If parents or whoever shows up day of, they can register on site at one of the check-in stations and we'll print them a badge right then. That's a change from last year, which is nice that we're able to do with this platform. So especially competing teams and players, we'd like you to register as soon as possible. In fact, if you haven't registered, we're probably going to be bugging you with reminders here soon because we're aggregating all that information. But for any general attendee, just feel free to register whenever you like, up to and including just showing up the day of and registering on site. Competitors and coaches need waiver forms. So this is a little fun piece of information because our insurance carrier is requiring physical waiver forms from people competing in IEN finals and coaches. Uh, we tried to communicate what esports is and how little physical liability there is for sitting in front of a computer playing a video game. But rules are rules, and we like being insured. So we're going to follow the insurer's guidelines, which are everyone who is competing and every coach attending with the competing schools needs to complete that waiver form. I thought it was kind of funny because I came up with some physical hazards that are including in the waiver form. Basically, all you need to do is make sure your students have a copy of that before they get on the bus with you or before they leave. Collect all of them. When you get to finals, turn it in at the registration table so we can have them. Don't expect any issues. I don't expect any random epileptic events or paper cuts on the mouse pad. I don't know, but we're going to have them because we're required to have them. So please, if you're attending with students, make sure you have those on the day of. Parking and buses, lots of questions there. I'll read you a little information now and then I'll show you in the app and on the website where you can find that. It's in the same building it was last year, if you attended last year, which is the LA Pinninger Student Center on campus. There were a few issues last year with buses unloading on the main drive, University Avenue. Ball State has reiterated how undesirable that is, in stronger words than that, because there's a hospital a little bit further down the street on that University Avenue, so they're really trying to avoid any backups in traffic there. So what we need buses to do is go around towards the south end of the building, and when I show you on the map, hopefully that makes sense. There is a turnaround drive that buses can use to load and unload there. The biggest issue is just don't load and unload on University Avenue in, quote, front or the north side of the student center. Parking is pretty prevalent and available, especially since it's a Saturday at the end of the year in April after most people are gone or getting close to being gone. Any of the lots right around the student center that don't say restricted are open. And again, I'll show you the map where we can look at that. Streaming we'll talk about and get a schedule out to you soon. We're finalizing all that information. One thing that we do want to say, and we'll reiterate, that's a departure from what we've tried to do in the past. We are not able to stream the entirety of every match. There's 23 different matches that day, happening in 6 different competition spaces with up to 6 different matches simultaneously. We don't have the bandwidth to stream everything full time. So we're going to run 3 streams entirely throughout the day. Some matches and games will be streamed completely. Some games will stream parts of matches and jump between. So that schedule is still getting finalized, and we'll hope to release that early next week, possibly still this week, but I don't want to promise that. So you'll be able to see exactly what matches are going to be streamed when, which ones are going to be cut in and out, and which ones are going to be streamed in full, and on what channels. So we know that you need that information, and we're working with our partners to get it to you, and we'll be able to do so soon. If you haven't looked at the calendar, there are 2 different award sessions. We heard last year that you really wanted that, and we're accommodating. So there's a afternoon award session at a time that I can't remember, but I believe is 1 o'clock. That is going to be for all the morning competitions, and then there'll be another award ceremony when competitions are finished, probably 6, possibly a little earlier. So if you're a morning competing school, you'll be able to get out before if you need to. If not, then you'll be able to stay the whole time. We are giving trophies to both the champion and runner-up school. We are giving medals to all students who are competing. So everyone will be receiving an award that is competing that day. So make sure that you understand, even if you lose, you should still stay for the awards because there are awards to be had and given. And much to Jonathan's chagrin, they're not, I believe he called them pathetic trophies or some other offensive adjective. I think they're a little better than last year. Volunteers. If you're looking for a volunteer opportunity, we can definitely use your help. One of the biggest ways we can use your help is with check-in. We're going to have 4 check-in stations around the building. We are going to try to man them with some IEN personnel at times. Ball State is going to have some personnel there. But if you're like, hey, I'm planning on coming to finals. I'm not even going to really have kids with me. I've got some time to help. That'd be great. We would love to have you help in that way in particular. Or maybe you're like, I'm going to have kids, but every now and then I can pop in and do something. Let us know. There'll be some general assistance type volunteering as well if you're looking for a way to help out. All right. Questions in chat. Where do we get the waiver form? The waiver form is linked in the newsletter. It's linked on Discord. It's linked in the newsletter. And it's linked on the finals website. I believe those 4 places. All right. Website preview real quick. So if you haven't seen the competition site, after you purchase your tickets, you can log in. There isn't a password. All you do is put in your email address, and it emails you a passcode. Then you can sign into the website. You've got a countdown, a fun little video that Carlos made highlighting last year, and lots of different information. So we can look at sponsor schedules. Again, I don't like reading you things. But schedules is one of the most important ones. You can see exactly what events are when. They're color-coded. They're sorted by room and all those sorts of things. I think this works a little bit better on the app itself instead of the website, and I'll show you that in a minute. The website is just a bit slow to kind of load everything. There are maps. So these are the maps that I mentioned before. This is where the student center is on campus via like a Google map setup. This map, for some reason, is crashing on the app right now. I think I need to adjust it. But this shows you exactly where parking lots and things are. So here's the student center, labeled SC. Also, the zoom is reversed, by the way. So if you zoom, yeah, whatever. Here's where we're going to be. Again, here is University Avenue to the north. This is where we do not want buses loading and unloading because, hospital down here a little bit of ways. So buses can go either way and come down. There's a turnaround here that should be pretty easy for buses to access. If your driver doesn't want to mess with the turnaround, you can unload down here south on Gilbert Street as well. All of these yellow lots are available. They say, I don't remember what the yellow code is because I don't have it on the screen. But they're available for use on Saturdays. So we would ask that buses try to park either in the back of one of these bigger lots or go down to the commuter lots to park for the day and then come back to pick you up maybe later. But anything that's not a bus that's smaller is welcome to definitely use all of these yellow lots. There's a little bus icon here. This is where the shuttle is going to be. So there will be a shuttle service running all day to take you over to the esports center. If you've never seen Ball State Esports Center, it's pretty great. You can take tours, but you can also use that as a warm-up space for your teams before your competition time. So we can't offer warm-up spaces in the actual venue, but the next best thing is to give you a shuttle over to the Esports Center where you and your team can warm up there. It'll even be a little quieter and removed from everything else. So all of that is here in the map. There are also floor level maps. These will show you exactly where the rooms are. They're labeled on your agenda. We're also going to add booths to all these, so you'll just be able to click on it and see the schedule for that room and all of that. That is coming hopefully this weekend. But all of these are the different floors. The sessions will be on the third floor, also where a lot of us are staying because of a hotel there. But this is where the breakout rooms will be. The lower level that I just showed you is the one we didn't have access to last year due to the unfortunately timed flood that occurred right before our finals event. So we'll be able to access this lower level as well. There'll be competitions here in the multi-purpose room. There's a lounge right across the hallway. Lots of information. For food, yes, the entirety of the food court will be open on the first floor. I'll show you times for all of that, but that is here on the main level. There's a lot in the Tally food court for food, so you don't even have to leave the building or go anywhere else. In addition to maps and schedule, the event guide I just referenced is here. The liability release form is also here. So even if you don't have another way of sharing it with students and parents, you can do so through the app or the website. All that parking information that I just mentioned is here as well. The food schedule, what will be open when and for what hours is located here. Some information about the general venue and some things like that as well. So all of that in the event guide. News is where we'll post specific information about what's going on that day. If we need to make an announcement or there's something that's changed, all of that will go under news. If you subscribe to push notifications on the app, you'll get notified when those go out as well. There's a social tab that's probably not going to be very useful. You can see exhibitors here. Exhibitors are the colleges that are attending the recruiting fair. It'll have information about those colleges. You'll be able to get in touch with their recruiting members. Sponsors as well, to learn more about the sponsors of the event and how they're providing different things to IEN Finals. There's a gallery where you and students and attendees can upload pictures that are then approved and will appear in the gallery. A little hint, Carlos set up some gamification type things, and there may or may not be something tied to different app activities that you can use to gain points. There'll be surveys as well. There'll be a general event survey, but also surveys for your individual sessions that you choose to attend. You can even set up meetings and those sorts of things, but probably not something we're going to spend a lot of time doing. On the app, I want to just show you as well. It looks mostly the same with a few key differences that I wanted to highlight. And I figured out how to share my phone screen. I'm fancy. I do like the schedule a lot better on the app than on the website. So we can scroll through and say, what room are we looking for what events? You can add them to your specific agenda. That's the little bookmark icon here on the right. So if I'm like, oh, hey, I should probably attend the opening, I can do that and add it to my agenda. I can even add it to an individual calendar as well, and that will sync to Outlook or iCal or any Google Calendar you want. And then you can go to My Agenda at the top and see just your sessions as opposed to the entirety of the schedule, which is probably going to be helpful for you and students for keeping track of information. If you register for a session, you can go there. You can have a reminder set. So if you're like, hey, I really want to go to this session, have it set a reminder to remind you 10, 15 minutes beforehand so you can make it there. We'll want students and attendees to check into sessions when they get there. You can do that here in the app. You can scan QR codes that we're going to put around the building. But this will also allow students or attendees, parents, yourselves, to write comments for the session, to take a poll, to do a live Q&A with the speaker, all those fun sorts of things. In terms of actual registration when you arrive, At the check-in kiosk, you'll be able to type in a name to generate your badge. You'll also be able to just scan a QR code. So in the top left here, you can click your profile icon. It'll show your QR code. I have a few because I have a few different roles. And then you'll basically just hold this up to the laptop screen. It'll scan your QR code and print your badge. On every badge, there will also be the QR code once you check in. And what sponsors and recruiters will be able to do is scan that QR code. So that'll allow them to follow up with any student who shows interest in attending a specific college or any of that sort of information, which is something that those college partners had asked for and should be much easier to follow up with in this year than last year. There's a note section even. You can jot down notes that you wanted to remember about specific things. We're hoping this app is much appreciated and much easier than not having an app. It's a one-stop shop for all the communication we need. If we have general announcements to make due to anything that's occurring, we will use Discord and we will use the app to communicate to you. We'll be able to communicate specifically to schools. So if your match is running a little bit behind because the prior match encountered a delay, we just might push a message that says, hey, we're 10 minutes behind schedule and let you know. Or if we're running ahead of schedule, which is more likely to be honest with you, then we'll make sure we communicate that as well. So look not just in Discord for announcements, but also in the app as well for event day announcements regarding finals. Let's see if there are questions, because I'm sure there currently are. Minimum amount of time for a team that should arrive before competition time. I suggest at least 45 minutes. It's really up to you, but there's going to be a lot going on that day. By the time you get unloaded, you get into the building, you get distracted with everything that's going on, you get to your competition area and warm up. I would think 30 to 45 minutes for sure. Um, but that's up to you. If you're competing later in the day, there's obviously things going on all day, so you'll be able to do that. But if you're one of those morning sessions, an 8:30 or a 9 o'clock sort of thing, you definitely want to get there early enough to have enough time. For practicing in the BSU Esports Lab, there are going to be designated times. There are going to be designated times and computers, so we will release that schedule to you once Ball State gets it to us. I think he finished it, but you'll be able to see when your practice window is and what computers you're on. So all of that will be assigned. Can we print off student badges as well? Anyone can print out a badge if you search the name. So once you get to the checkout kiosk, you don't need the QR code. You can just type a name and search, and it will print the badge. It should be a very quick turnaround, so it's not going to be something like you're there forever. The QR codes will make it a little easier in terms of not having to search the list for names. But if you just start typing names in the checkdown box, it'll print the badge. It should go pretty quickly. How do you get the app? Yep, I think Carlos answered that. Yeah, search Eventify on your device. There's also a banner on the top of the website that has the information as well. So you'll be able to go directly to the link, or it's got QR codes or links to the app for the App Store. So that's probably the easiest way to remember to get to those things. But you can just download Eventify on your platform of choice, search IEN State Finals, and you'll find the app. Carlos, Nick, did I miss any questions? I think I got them all. All right. Oh, no, I did miss James. I did see that. Anything different for the singles SSPU tournament? No, not really, except for the fact that that schedule is not on our platform. That's on the Start GG page that Odyssey has generated. If your students qualified, they should have been in communication with Odyssey in terms of all the information for that. If not, I can help you get in contact. But I believe I heard that they had verified with students who were attending and have worked all of that out, or at least are very close. So yeah, the Start GG is going to have the information specific for that tournament. That will be in the ballroom as well. So the ballroom is all the Smash Brother IEN competitions, the 1v1 Smash competitions, and all the awards. So that will all be in that one central location. All right, 25-26 games and calendar will be released at the next meeting. We are very close, although board remind me that I just had another conversation today about another possible title that we can discuss. So at the May meeting, we'll be able. Nick just shook his head. We'll be able to discuss all the games and titles that we're going to offer. Um, without spoiling too much, those of you have been asking for a specific Disney-related superhero title won't be disappointed with the offering for next year. So, uh, just to dip that in and keep that alive. We need to print out badges. No, yeah, no, we're printing out the badges at the event live. All you have to do is check in once you get there. In addition to the games and calendar that are released at the May meeting, in the August mandatory meeting, we'll have updated rule sets for everything that is occurring. One thing that we know we need to do better is keeping rules up to date. Right now, it's a little segmented with we have the general rules in a Google Doc, we have the one pagers in PDFs, we have the League OS one pagers with their websites. We're going to streamline everything and simplify it. Everything's going to be on League OS. Everything's going to be a dynamic web page. You're just going to be able to go to one spot and see all the rules. We're going to keep them all updated in a single spot so we don't have conflicting rule information. Should vastly simplify the process for everyone. So look for some rule changes next year, but more importantly, look for a general overhaul to the way you interact with the rules. It'll all be on League OS rulebooks. I think that's all we had for the agenda. So, 33 minutes. That's the longest meeting we've had in a while. I would apologize, but some of you don't know how good that still is. So, if you have questions, for sure, by all means, reach out to one of us, ask in Discord, email us. You can even go in the app and hit the support button. Someone did that the other day, and I was like, what is this? But yeah, we get notified when you hit the support button in the app. So we can help you with information from there as well. Biggest thing is any questions you have, don't suffer in silence. Ask and reach out. If you have questions that you think are for the good of everyone, you can drop them in chat still, and we'll recap them. If you wanted to hang out for a few minutes until people start leaving because you have something a little more niche or specific, feel free to do that, and then we can unmute and answer them. I see there is a question about opportunities for student broadcasters. Yes, we can have opportunities for that as well. Some of our production is remote, but we will have some in-person opportunities as well. Maybe not specifically shoutcasters, but definitely production assistants, observers, and other kind of tangential pieces. We may be able to do some broadcast talent from students as well, but we'll see. We'll see. Breakout
Um,
sessions for sure. Yes, definitely breakout sessions on broadcasting are going to be options.
is the recording still going?
Yes, I'm getting ready to stop the recording right now. So thanks everybody. This is unless you wanted to include something in the recording. Great.
No.
This is the end of the official meeting. Again, as always, thank you. We're excited to see as many of you as possible at finals. Even if you're not competing, still jump down for at least a little bit on the day. You'll probably see some of us running around like chickens with our heads cut off, but it'll be a good time. And it'll be nice to meet some of you in person for the first time. But we hope it's a great day that everyone is excited to be a part of. Thanks again for taking your time out of the evening. And again, if you have something to ask specific, hang out. But if not, have a good night. And we'll see you when we see you.